Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm your host, Decaf Dr. Thunder, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of an objective review of NASCAR Heat 5. This will be the first of probably many different types of reviews and talking videos that I have about NASCAR Heat 5 because I have a lot to say about this game, and I just got my hands on it, so this is going to be my first impressions. And what I mean by objective is we're going to take a look at this game outside of the NASCAR Heat franchise. So, like, I have seen the Iceberg, for example, like, ripping this game a new hole because it basically copies NASCAR Heat 4. And what we're going to do is take a look at this game like it's the NASCAR game, right? We're not going to compare it to NASCAR Heat 4. We're not going to pretend like we're just going to take this game for what it is, which I know is going to be kind of hard, but my advantage is I didn't have NASCAR Heat 4, so this game is just basically kind of a clean slate for me, and we're just going to take this as it is, and yeah, we'll go through some stuff. Before we get into the video, make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 200 subscribers. Feels like just yesterday that we were at 100, and yeah, we're already at like 167, I believe, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll get into the review now here. Alright, so first up is the gameplay. Now, the gameplay, I like the gameplay. The cars feel kind of light and like kind of loose, and sometimes you don't really feel like you're 100% in control of the car. Like, most of the time you do, but then sometimes you don't. And I think that's a really good thing for the gameplay because that's probably, I would assume, how driving a NASCAR feels. You're not always completely in control of the machine. That's kind of the point, that they're supposed to be a little hard to control and hard to contain, and I feel like they actually did a really good job of, putting that into a game. And yeah, I think the gameplay is really good. There's some like minor things that I don't think work super well. Like, I don't know, like when you kind of just bump into a car, like you saw like I did with Keselowski there, I lost control, which I like, but like the fact that you just kind of nudge it and it, like, Keselowski like started to drift a little bit, I don't know. That's not my favorite. There's some mechanics that I would definitely change, but I think the tire wear is really good as well. Like, you can definitely feel it when the tires get down, which is good. That's how it should be. And I don't know, I like the gameplay. I think the gameplay looks good. And now on to the second thing, the graphics. The graphics in this game aren't phenomenal. My buddy Colby and me would always play NASCAR Heat 3, and Colby actually said on my Sim League live stream today that he thought these graphics were worse than NASCAR Heat 3. Now, I think that might be reaching a little bit, but I do think that the graphics could definitely use some work. They're not super good. Luckily, this will be the last game on this engine and on the PlayStation 4 as a whole. So, maybe NASCAR Heat 6 we'll get some good graphics. But overall, I think the graphics on this game, decent. Not anything to write home about, but not too bad. Now, next up, we're going to take a look at the paint booth and customization options of NASCAR Heat 5. Now, okay, we got to be honest here. Objectively, NASCAR Heat 5's customization is not good. It's better than it has been, but, this is an objective review, and it's not good. The only things you can change are the color and what sponsor is, right? What sponsor's on your car. You can't change where the sponsor is. You can change your number. You can change the style of your number, but all the styles of the numbers are weirdly gross. You can't, this game is not by 704 Games, so it's on the table. I can compare it. NASCAR 14, NASCAR 15, the Technics games, perfect paint booth. You could put the sponsors wherever you wanted. You could there were just unbranded designs that you could put on the car however you wanted. You could do, the number fonts weren't super great, but they were better. Everything about NASCAR 14 and 15's paint booth worked, and they don't have any of it in NASCAR Heat 5. NASCAR Heat 6 definitely needs a complete revamp of the paint booth. The paint booth in NASCAR Heat 5 is terrible. Now, on to our next discussion topic. We are going to be talking about the career mode, and generally, if you were to look at the career mode without looking at any of the other ones, it's pretty good. You can join a team, and you can create a team. Now, okay, create a team is a strong word for what you're doing, okay? Like, basically, you are driving not for a team is probably a more accurate description of what you're doing rather than creating a team, because to have a team, you know, I guess you could say it's a team because you have a crew chief and that stuff, but, you know, which you don't actually have a crew chief. You just had pit crew members and engineers. But team, I would say, defined as, okay, when you think of teams in NASCAR, you think of Hendrick and Joe Gibbs. You don't think of Jimmy Johnson. Like Jimmy Johnson's crew, that's not a team, that's a driver. Like, if you could sign on other people to be on your team, I think that would be phenomenal. But basically, the team in NASCAR, the creative team, isn't terrible. There's not a ton of depth when you're just driving as a car for a team. That's basically just kind of a franchise mode, I would say. Like, it's almost like a connected season, I guess. But then the creative team is your real bread and butter of career mode, and it's okay. It's not very deep. I've already talked about the problems with that, but, you know, it is what it is. So, career mode, not terrible. Definitely could be improved upon. And now we're going to get into the other modes of the game. Now, the championship season is deeper than it has been. There are lots of things that I would love to see improved. I'm making the best of it with my sim league that I'm running, but there are definitely improvements that could and should be made, like the ability to actually sim races in career mode. That definitely needs to be fixed, not in career mode, in championship season mode. And what I would like to see is a franchise mode, kind of like Universe in WWE 2K. Like, I don't think that's actually asking that much, but basically what I would have put in it is taking the season mode, right, and just stringing them together. Like, I know you can do that, but have, like, stats over seasons, you know, like they put the deeper stats in career mode this year. If you could put that in season and then have it run over seasons, I think that would be a great mode. It'd be a little more fleshed out and actually have some, you know, replayability. You'd have to add sim races, and that's about it. That would open up a whole new world of possibilities. But the championship season is not terrible. It's not really something that I would just sit down and play. I would always choose career mode over championship season, but it kind of works for sim leagues. Not really. So the championship season is kind of bland. The challenges are okay. They're kind of broken at the moment, which will lead me into my next topic, but you don't get any rewards. So the challenges are okay. It's nice to just have a little scenario, but it'd be great if you actually got a reward from the challenges. So that's kind of dumb. The challenges aren't phenomenal, which brings me to my next point, right? And this is huge. This is going to be make or break for this game. The game in its state as it is pretty terrible. Okay? Like today on my live stream, we raced in championship season at Homestead, and we got done. For some reason, all of the cars were super slow, so since we can't sim races, what I did was basically just sit at the back of the pack and spectate, basically. But the cars, for some reason, were so slow that I could keep up with them in third gear. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if it was a glitch or just because the rubber banding is ridiculous, but yikes. Okay, yikes. That's strike one. And then strike two is after we finished that race, all the like finishing positions were completely jacked up. Like, there was a driver, Chase Elliott, I believe, got 8th in the race, and then in the standings afterward, it said he was 30th, like a final position for the race. Like, what the heck? Why? There's so many bugs and glitches with this game right now. For example, in career mode, your wheels for some reason are yellow. Like, the rims are yellow. Like, why? Come on. And they put out the day one patch, and they didn't fix any of that. It used to be terrible. Like, the crashes were ridiculous. And so what I'm trying to say is this game needs to go a long ways from where it's at right now. There are basically no paint schemes in the game. There are some, but not very many. They need to patch in more paint schemes, fix the glitches, and I think that this game could overall be really solid. In the state that it's in right now, it's not very good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. In the state that it's in right now, I would give this game probably a 5 out of 10. It's not phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not terrible. And with the potential fixes that this game has, because the core of this game is solid, it just has some, little issues around the edges that it needs to clean up. With those issues solved, I think that this game could go from 5 out of 10 to being probably, 7 or 8 out of 10. Not anything terrific, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's a solid racing game, and I feel like NASCAR fans are getting, a little bit spoiled with what they want, I'd say. And I think that this game is a solid, it's a solid racing game. There are better racing games, but this is an objective review, and I think this game is a good game. So that is my objective review of NASCAR Heat 5. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, stay safe. This has been Decaf Dr. Thunder, and I will catch you guys next time.